Hi, I'm Lauren, a mom, former teacher turned children's book author, and your host who joins special guests each episode as we share our top kid-lit picks for sparking hard conversations the easy way. Yep, that means everything from tackling bullying and out-of-control anger to celebrating diversity, inclusion, and leading with kindness, plus so much more. My whole mission of my own children's book series, Blooming Rose, is to provide social and emotional support tools for in and out of the classroom, and this podcast is my way to expand that mission even further. So stay tuned as we dive into this week's topic on the Blooming Books podcast. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Blooming Books podcast. This episode is too fun for just one guest, so we are bringing in you all three members and authors of the children's musical entertainment group, Tika Tika Time. If you're looking for a fun way to incorporate fun stories with fun beats, you can check them out on YouTube, but just be warned, their songs are pretty catchy and you might end up on repeat. So Latifa, Reeves, Mark Larson, and Lisa Hart, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Hello.
Thank you.
We have a full crowd today. It's exciting. So I like to first get into the groove with a couple of rapid fire questions just to kind of get to know you guys a little bit better. So are you ready for that?
Yeah.
So first off, let's go, since we do have three of y'all, let's introduce yourselves so we can get to know your voice and tell us where in the world you are located, because I know it's not here around here in Texas. And what is one thing you love about living there?
Well, we live in St. Helena, which is in the heart of Napa Valley. I'm Lisa
Beautiful.
Hart.
Hi.
And it's absolutely stunning, gorgeous here. And there's not much to not love here. We all live in the same town. We're all here together. Yeah, that's where we live.
That's amazing.
I'm Latifa Reeves. And one thing I love about living in the Napa Valley is that when the fall and winter comes, the grass starts growing. And so it's like really bright green in the winter. It's just the neatest thing. The leaves fall off the tree, but the grass grows green. So there's always just kind of this natural excitement for fall and winter, which is usually not my jam.
Yeah.
I'm a summer person.
So how much longer do you think y'all will have like these wintry, like we're recording this in February. So we're coming, the whole country, I feel like, is thawing out after our bit of an Arctic blast. But down here in Texas, it's more like a false winter. There's a couple of weekends where it's cold, but we're back up to 70 degrees today. So what is it like up there right now? It's still pretty chilly, I imagine.
A little chilly, but it's sunny out.
Oh, nice.
And go outside in the sun.
Yeah.
It's- You just want to curl up and take a nap.
Yes. It sounds so great.
And I think it was 70 yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I know my husband wishes it was colder, but I was like, I'm pretty good with 60s and 70s. And so is all the animals. You'll see them out there laying out in the sun. So we're pretty good. So this might be a hard one, but besides your own, what is your all-time favorite band? So each of y'all can give us a band.
Oh man,
Oh, that's
not fair.
I love this is Latifa. I love the Black Crows.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
That's awesome.
I love Led Zeppelin, old school.
Mm-hmm.
But Black
Yeah.
Crows, really, I love Black Crows.
Oh, that's awesome. Mark, do you have a favorite?
Pink Floyd.
Oh, cool.
Good
Yeah.
one. Good one. Oh my God. It's really hard for me to answer that question because I have such a broad love for all kinds of music.
Mm-hmm.
Love old standards. I love classical. I love children's songs now.
Yeah.
I pretty much I love it all. It's hard to pick.
Yeah, it is because it depends on your mood, right? And we'll get into that in a minute.
Right.
Okay, and last question. Where's the most random place you have felt inspired to listen, to write, or create music? Is it like in the shower, in the car, or maybe outside on a sunny day? Do y'all have like a favorite place you like to go?
Well, I was going to say, well, the three of us have been working together now for a while, and their kitchen table.
Yeah.
Mark and Lisa's kitchen table is, we have created so many songs at that kitchen table
Yeah.
just by being silly. And, but songs come in anytime. You can be in the car, you can,
Yeah.
you just got to get your phone and record it really quick. So
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so funny. It's like a magic table in there, huh?
yes.
It is. There's something about it.
Sometimes the song pop up in my head when I'm, right before I wake up. you know, when I'm in a dream state.
Totally.
Yep.
I've dreamt in songs too.
Yeah.
Especially trying to figure something out, and then it'll come in and I'm like, oh, I've got to wake up and remember this.
Yes.
Get up and record.
It's really, driving is the most inconvenient. And I remember when I first started writing songs, I would always be in the car.
Right.
Because you're kind of doing one thing that keeps you grounded, and then the mind, you know, and I didn't have we didn't have the smartphones then. So I'd have to like pull over, try to write when I'm driving, which is not safe. I don't do that.
Yeah. I know I talk to myself on video a lot, but I'm always fascinated by like the musical creation world. You know, I'm a author, so I think in words, but I just think it's so amazing when, you know, and awe-inspiring to me, like when people think in music, and like even hearing that y'all dream in music, like that's just so cool to me.
Yeah. Well, the other day we were driving around, Lisa and I, and we came up with an idea. So I got on my voice memo recorder and recorded it. And then I sent it to Latifa, and then she came back with something else.
Yeah, and I was standing in the middle of a field with about 20 TK students, and they sent me this song, and then I just added a little piece to it. So I think we're constantly being inspired.
Yeah, and actually that was because we had enchiladas, then gelato.
Oh, yes.
So that was, I actually thought of those words together, and then Mark took it and
Don't
made
give it
into-
away.
I know.
Yeah.
It's not out there yet.
Aw.
That song will be showing up on one of our YouTube episodes, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, that is a great segue because we're going to jump into this week's topic, which is obviously all about music. And, you know, I'm pretty partial to it with, you know, my own release coming out about music, but it's all about using music for, you know, mood regulation or creative expression. And especially when you're talking about kids, you know, learning and making it so fun for them. So I know how you've talked about a little bit about how y'all seem to just really work so well together, and you're able to build and collaborate together so easily. But can y'all tell me a little bit about the background of how you started the group, and how were you maybe drawn towards, you know, performing and creating for kids? And I guess we can just kind of start with who approached who first. Was it kind of like an idea for one and it kind of went off from there?
This is Latifa. So I've been teaching baby music class and little, you know, 3 and 4 and 5-year-olds for many years in my community, probably about 15 years. And all through the years, you know, in music circle, I'm pretty good at just like making things up on the fly, because I just follow their expressions, and you know what, if it's silly, then the kids are laughing. So through the years, I was like, I really should record these. I should record these songs, you know, I should record these. And also being a mom of 5 children, I also all through the years would write stories and poems and things. And so I don't even know the date, but it was maybe a year and a half ago. I was like, that's it. I'm going to do it. I want to do all those silly songs that I didn't get to do before, you know, or that I haven't done yet. So that's where I met Lisa and Mark.
And
Come on.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about it when y'all jumped in on it?
Well, we all have adult bands, and that's how we met. And Latifa approached us, and I thought that her and Mark would work best together. So they actually created a whole record. And then because Mark and I are a couple, I was in the house a lot and would hear these songs and then be haunted by it. And we have a little character in our Tika Time collection whose name is our earworm right here. I don't know if you can see him, but I kept getting an earworm, which I don't know if you've heard about what that is. It's just a song that gets caught in your head and you can't get it out.
Yes.
So they were so catchy that it inspired me incredibly, actually. And I started having ideas and sharing them. And then it just sort of organically, we were like, oh, and found this synergy together that just really was like a tractor beam of
It was.
we were locked in and focused in ways that I'm not sure I've ever been that focused.
Mhm.
And we're just a bunch of kids. We're just a bunch of goofballs. And I think the synergy comes from that our inner children really get along and play well together.
We're always willing to be silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so important. I
Yeah.
think it's hard. I used to be a teacher as well. And when you were saying, Latifa, how you were in the classroom, like it's very performative, especially with the younger kids. My mom was a high school teacher and she would just look at the things that I was doing and was like, wow, that's ridiculous, over the top. But I was like, when you're dealing with the younger kids, it is a performance. Like you have to keep them engaged. And of course, we know that they learn best when they're up and they're moving and they're wiggling and they're having fun and they're, learning by accident kind of thing. Like they don't realize that, the songs they're singing or whatever y'all are discussing is actually part of the lesson. So I love that. And I know a lot of teachers that can listen to this episode and tune into your YouTube channel, which we'll talk a little bit about how to connect to that later in the episode. But, they can use all kinds of songs. And, my kids, they do the brain breaks. They do, the songs for indoor recess. They'll put music on and you just got to let kids get up and move, and adults
move
too. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
one thing that I always thought was so neat with the kids is that I always am reminded how simple, like the particular age group that I worked with, like just the smallest movement, moving a song from fast to slow or from quiet to loud. I mean, it's thrilling for them for just those little dynamics.
Yeah.
There's always, and silly. I think the biggest thing is the silliness. The more I would engage in silliness with the kids, the more they just cracked open. It was just so fun. And so we make a great team because like Lisa said, we are definitely big kids here, leaning into the laughter.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me too, because I've heard of things like when your child is having a hard time or they're in the middle of a tantrum or, some kind of meltdown, like bringing it out of, being silly kind of helps them kind of break out of that cycle and like, start to smile and laugh and shrug it off again. So I think it's way more important in mood regulation than you might think, just to let them, have fun, laugh with them and giggle with them and dance with them, I think is so important.
Yes.
Mark, I know you guys are all in more traditional bands as well, but what have you realized or learned about performing and writing for children that differs from those adult audiences? And does that change your creative process at all?
Yes, I tap into my inner child more when I'm writing for kids, which is really easy for me. I find it it's much more difficult to write adult music.
Simpler.
It's more sophisticated, the adult music, and challenging. But I find that the children's music just flows out of me.
It really does.
It comes out of nowhere.
And Mark's really good with lyrics and the pockets, like pockets that kids will enjoy, the pockets of the song, like boom ba boom ba boom ba, he's the
little
hook.
catch. Yeah.
So good at that and putting the lyrics, to fit in there rhythmically. I feel like he's just brilliant at that.
That's so fun. Yeah, the silliness, I think it's easier when you let it all out, It's important to note that writing and creating for children is kind of a double-edged sword, since it needs to appeal to the children, of course, but also the adults who are purchasing it. Like, I know if there's a book on the shelf or a song on the playlist that my kids love but drives me crazy, I might be more inclined to skip it. So Lisa, what are some key elements that you aim for in your songs for kids? Learning, whether it's learning through rhyme or movement and fun, it's so important and helps with their memory too.
I think I obey the muse more than conduct the muse.
Yeah.
I think it almost feels like I'm just tapping into something beyond myself that is actually in charge. And I really just try to get out of the way and let it flow.
You're just the conduit. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And then just being willing to, I think think throughout my songwriting experiences over the last, 20 plus years, is not getting too attached, because we are in a group, and really, I would call it going with the highest thought. If we're collaborating, there's always a best idea, and maybe I have it, maybe one of them has it, but being willing to just flow with it and not get stuck in, and that's a really fun too, to have that kind of synergy where we play off each other, and I'm used to writing it just with one other person, so it's been fun to collaborate with three people, and have that bounce around of oh, that sounds great. Being open-minded is so important.
Yeah.
And I think that comes through in the songs, of whatever energy we have will come through to the children, and they'll feel the openness too, and it translates through. Because I tend to write more about emotional or affirmations, because that's how I deal with my inner child.
Yeah.
I am good enough. I'm special. These things that we don't always have a perfect childhood.
Yeah.
And nobody does. And it's also the gift of life, is whatever you learn from it. And I think that that always comes through whatever I do, is infusing it with a love and healing. Even if it's goofy, it's still
right.
Still
The goofy is healing.
It is.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things I love about the music in general so much, is that, it's so relatable. And a lot of these topics we talk about on the podcast, whether you're seeing it through books or seeing it through song, is that you're relating to those characters. You're relating to, the lyricist that wrote this, and knowing that, your feelings are normal and your feelings are validated. And, you need to hear those kids need to hear the affirmations, said out loud. I think that's powerful, for the kids going through whatever they might be going through and whatever mood they might be in that day. So I love that there's just a range of books and music and creative ways to tap into all that. So I know a lot of us think of using music for playfulness and letting loose, which we've been talking about, but it's also a powerful social emotional tool in terms of sitting in your heavier feelings with slower and more somber songs, but also in uplifting those moods with songs like your own. Latifa, have you noticed the power your songs have had for kids that might be like a little more down or shy, or, in that little shell, and then seeing them kind of awaken and come out as the songs and the music draw them out?
Yeah, I think the way I've seen that work through is that so some of the kids I have that I work with, let's say I've been with someone for years, like they came to me as a baby and did baby music class, where we sit in the circle with their moms, and they're in the laps of their moms or dads, or or caretaker, and we'll sing songs. And but I've seen this so many times. Then they'll come back to me, maybe they're like 2 or 3, maybe 3 years old, or I get to their TK class, because we live in a small town. And if I bring one of those songs, I cannot tell you how many children either have a smile from that, or they have tears, like that it touches them, like they don't know why their heart remembers these songs. And so I'm always, that just always intrigues me so much. They feel the music so deeply, and I think it imprints very deeply in their growth. So for me, I always try to imprint joy and happiness in a container, even if they're sad, or I want to be a container for that. And so that's kind of always my mission with the music and holding space. And also, if a child, like I had one child that just did not like this particular song, and it really upset them. So we, it was like, okay, it just brought up some sort of feelings that she didn't like. So it was done, like I was like, wait, hold that song out. It was really like she would cry. So music touched our feelings so deeply.
Yeah, it's like it's almost, subconsciously it'll invoke different feelings for different scenarios, or, the deja vu, or whenever you first heard it, or remember, you might not really remember it, but like you said, your subconscious does, your heart does. But it kind of reminds me too, like when we're using music to, I always played music for my kids when they're going to sleep, even now. And it just helps them, like the same songs, they just know, and their brain just knows, like, okay, when we hear these songs and we're in bed, and it's time to wind down. And they might not even really be listening to the songs, but it's just this emotion that's around that. So I think it's
I
really
love
cool that you put
that.
that out. Yeah.
That makes me
So
think of my mom who
uh,
would come into the room to wake us up, and she would, sing, "Good morning, good morning." And it was like a really happy way to be woken up. She was so kind in doing it that way instead of, "Come on, time to get
yeah.
up, time to get up." Yeah.
I do that too. I try to play, more uplifting and energetic music in the morning, but sometimes it does resort to, pulling. I have a preteen now, so I'm, usually like literally pulling her out of bed. But I try. I try. So I think music has this universal way of connecting us to each other and to ourselves. And that's one of the pillars I love here on the podcast, is normalizing our feelings, like we were talking about. Everyone feels down sometimes. Everyone feels anxious sometimes. And, really being able to identify those feelings and connect with a song that relates to those feelings, and ultimately being able to move past them in a healthy way, and, get back to jamming out to those fun songs.
Well, I was just going to say, just kind of speak to the fact that like it's important
Uh-huh.
to feel your feelings, even as a child, to give space for them to feel anything that they need to feel. It's not always happy and, joy and laughter, but sometimes they need to be able to feel mad and sad, and there has to be space for that.
Yeah. Because even thinking about using it in like the school setting, like you've had, or, where they're coming off of a math test, or they're coming off of, something that might have been difficult or challenging, and they're having a rough day, and, they can go off to the side and, hear your songs in the background, and you're like, okay, that helps them. I feel like, re-regulate things, and get back to, a calmer state, and go back to not ruining their whole day, from that one moment. So I think music is so powerful about that.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into our book picks around music as well. So the first book is yours, of course. It's called Animals Are Great. So Lisa, can you tell us a little more about this title and the musical elements that go along with it?
Well, I did not write this song, so I think that Latifa and Mark should answer this
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
Even though I was a part of the creation of the book and everything like that, they are the writers. So
Animals Are Great contain the lyrics to a song that we wrote. And so it's kind of an interactive song where you can do the motions and sing the melodies along with, the music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
love
it's
that.
all about making sounds, animal sounds. So when it was the very first, when I came to Mark and Lisa, Mark had this track already set. He's like, here's something I've never done anything. He hit play, and I think almost instantly I went, I'm a wolf. I'm a wolf.
Yeah.
The song just, it was already written. We just had to show up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just had to put it down on paper.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's part of that dynamic of like making kids make silly sounds so that, it just cracks them up. So the lyrics in the song is actually our book. It is the words of the book.
yeah, and then there's a video that goes with it on YouTube. So you can take the book, and there's a QR code, and that connects to the YouTube video. And so a child can watch Miss Latifa here dance and sing, and then they can also read. So it's very educational while having so much fun. And then there's these beautiful illustrations, and then the videos. And we have 2 videos and 2 books. We have another title called I Love That Train. And so they're so much fun to be able to do both. You can watch, read, sing, dance. what else?
Right. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, I love that because, we're always trying to find ways, especially for like those new readers that are hesitant to sit down and like read a whole book. But again, when you put it to song and you put it with your video and being able to dance and sing along, like they don't realize that, they're reading or reading along, at least following along, to the story. And it just makes it so much more fun for them.
And you can play a game later too of other animals, um, that they see on TV or in real life.
That's
And,
true.
what sound does that make? So parents could continue to interact with the child with animals. Who doesn't love animals?
I love that. Well, we are big fans over here. Yeah.
Yes, of course you are.
I was going to say it was kind of neat because we didn't even like literally when we had the song and we're like putting it into a book. I don't even know that we knew that it would work out. But it seems to work out really well. So, note to writers, write it in a song first and then put it in because it does have this natural rhythm when you're reading it. So yeah, it was always going to be for us to put the lyrics of our songs in the books.
I mean, it makes sense. I love books that have a good rhyming cadence to it. I haven't ventured out on my own to do rhyming because I'm not that musically inclined, but it does have a tie into music, and I love that. So you guys did mention you have another book. Do you have any other books in the works?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
We have a third book called No More Sugar.
Oh.
We've done the book, the song, of course, it's from a song. And then right now we're working with the animation to create the video so they're all connected when they are released. But we did that all in 1 year. So
we took a minute. A break.
I know, that's true. You said you started like a year and a half ago. That's a lot.
And we have a second book that's already out there called I Love That Train.
Yeah, so that one's already in print.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one has a video. So we have 2 books out and the third is almost there.
Perfect.
And that's going to be really fun because, what parent doesn't deal with a child wanting more sugar and it's super silly and fun. And the animator did such a beautiful job. So we're excited to bring that out.
Yeah, I'll have to check those out. I'll link all of these books and all the ones we talk about on our website as well as in the show notes as well.
Awesome.
So, of course, I have to mention my own second title, which just released here in February. So it's called Blooming Rose Finds Her Jam. And I really wanted this book to speak to the power music has in self-regulation, whether it be happy and celebratory or anxious or somber. It's been something, I've been drawn towards my whole life, from jamming out in the car to dance parties in the kitchen to now getting to experience live concerts with my own kids. And, I've just felt really grateful that it's touched my life in so many ways. And then the story, our main character, Rose and Brady, get to jam out at a family barbecue, but they quickly change course the next day when Brady gets super anxious about a big test coming up and how music can help soothe his nerves and focus on his goals. But I love that y'all mentioned using, music, dance moves and things. So I did add some dance moves into it, but, maybe y'all can give me some pointers on that later because I'm sure I don't look as cool as y'all. Another book I love is called The Music and Me. It's by Sophy Henn, and that goes through all the ways music touches our imagination and lives. It's a beautiful rhyming cadence book about the up and down beats in everyday life. And more similar to yours is called The Wild Symphony by Dan Brown, and it goes through all the animals and but it pairs them with orchestral instruments and their quirks. And so he did a score piece of music for each animal so you can listen along as you read as well, which again, I think that is so super cool. And then lastly, a middle grade series is the Mystwick series by Jessica Khoury, which focuses on Amelia, who attends the Mystwick School of Musicraft, which is in the title of the first book, and its follow-up, The Midnight Orchestra. So it's a whole fantasy world based around creating music. So if you have some kiddos that are drawn to that, that's a super fun read. So I love all these books that inspire such creativity and fun and literacy in such a special way. So I hope this episode has ignited our creative sides and put the more importance of music and our moods at center stage. But before you guys go, Latifa, can you tell us where we can find your books and music videos to jam along to, and a little bit about each of your bands that you have up there in California?
Okay, so our tikatikatime.com is our website, and that has all our books on there, and it also has a link to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
But you have to go to, for some reason, the link is not working for buying the books. So go to Amazon.com and you can find the books there.
Okay.
I love that print.
Yeah.
And Animals Are Great will both be available for purchase there.
And eventually you'll be able to purchase the earworm plush toy.
Oh,
Yeah.
We get
Wait.
as soon as we get our PayPal thing fixed.
Something's
Yeah.
going on.
But we also have our YouTube channel is Tika Tika Time.
Yeah.
So
YouTube. And also you should know that, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
It's not, we have many other videos that of songs that were written by us, mostly performed by Miss Latifa and Mark Larson. But there's also some puppets. So we have Zeke the puppet is doing some singing too. And also we have Glamma. So Glamma does some book reading. And Miss Latifa plays that, and it's so cute. And she also does a little dance video, which
Exercise.
is awesome.
Exercising.
And then we also have Mark Larson here is doing The Nature Dude, which is a wonderful show. You could tell them about it if you want.
You're doing great.
You're doing great.
I don't want to take this, steal the thunder. He goes out into nature and talks about something amazing and some interesting facts in a really playful, exuberant way. And that's a really fun little show that we have too. So
All on our YouTube channel.
yes, and there's so much more to come.
I was about to say, you said you started a year and a half ago. I keep getting like all of this. Y'all have been busy, busy, busy. I love that.
We have so the YouTube channel has songs around egg shakers and rhythm sticks and cleaning up your toys. There's a lot of cute snippets in there.
Totally interactive.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, we will link. We usually just do book links on the episodes, but I'll definitely on our website too. I'll link for your books and also link directly to your YouTube, some of your music videos too, so they can find you guys. I think it's such a great resource for teachers, especially in the classroom. We're always looking for little things to do with them here and there, little brain breaks, get them, up and moving and dancing and having fun. So it sounds like you guys have so much information on there. So they would love to check that out.
So
Yeah.
the music is all acoustic and Mark's playing a real instrument. It's not canned music.
Yeah.
And
It's not AI. Yeah. Everything's
not
AI
AI.
now. It drives me crazy.
High pitched sound.
it's real music played by
Yay.
real.
Love that. Okay. And what about your bands that y'all are in? Lisa and Mark, are you in one together, you said?
We have a band called Magenta Ray, and it's very it's fusion really of rock and some operatic.
Oh, very cool.
Cinematic is a good word for it.
Yes.
Wow.
Call it art rock, but
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of very creative ideas and a lot of rock too, but a lot of spiritual, kind of more in the realm of moving through darkness and pain into the light, into the beauty, into the love.
So music is soothing for adults as well, right? We got to regulate those emotions through.
Yes, powerful music.
Yeah.
And Latifa?
My band is called Mama Said, and it's a two female fronted rock pop-ish with a guitar driven sounds, and that's at mamasaidband.com, and we're on Spotify and YouTube, all the platforms, streaming platforms. So
very cool.
Amazing music, 2 full records.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Y'all just sound way cooler than me. I'm just like, man, I wish I was more musical, but I'm a huge music fan. And so that's what counts, right? Yeah.
Thank
I can
you.
enjoy and appreciate it. And that's what I want to instill in our children as well. So
Never too late to learn more about music too. And you might have some talents you never knew you had.
well, I can play piano, and I say that lightly though. I took lessons as a kid, and I've got one now as an adult, and so I'm kind of relearning how to do all that, but still very basic at this level, but I love it. It's fun.
Oh, that's really great.
Okay, guys. So that is it for this episode. I hope you've gained a couple of groovy nuggets on how to incorporate music and fun into your days. And we'll see you guys next time on the Blooming Books podcast. Thank you guys again so much. This was such a fun episode.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you for having us.
We appreciate you.
Awesome.
Thank you for listening to the Blooming Books podcast, recorded and produced by Blooming Rose Kids. We've opted to keep our series ad-free, and if you'd like to support our efforts, please consider shopping our own custom-signed Blooming Rose books at bloomingrosekids.com and our academic materials on our Teachers Pay Teachers page. All of the books mentioned in this episode are also available via our affiliate links in the show notes. We so appreciate you being here and hope to see you next time.